course, for being here today. My name is Austin Lyons. I've been hanging out with you all morning, and I am delighted to be here with you in Asbury Park this year. All right, now, of course, on behalf of the National Brain Tumor Society, thank you for coming out today to not only support our brain tumor community, but also help raise awareness for critical funds necessary to fund better treatments and a cure for people living with brain tumors. Now, did you know that May is Brain Tumor Awareness Month, a month dedicated to supporting, empowering, and amplifying the voice of the brain tumor community? Thank you for helping us raise awareness and be part of this community. Thank you all to our team captains, our participants, our care partners, the doctors and volunteers that are joining us here today to make a difference and find a cure for brain tumors. We would like to especially thank all of our sponsors for their support and their massive levels of generosity. Thank you to IQVIA. Thank you to, yes, of course, please. Thank you to Gerald J. Glasser Brain Tumor Center. Thank you to NovaCure. To Roadrunner Sports. To Hackensack Meridian Health Neuroscience Institute. Thank you to Medexus. And thank you to New Jersey Spine and Wellness. And now we would like to have step up to the podium our special guest, Dr. Metris Glazer of the Brain Tumor Center speaker. Do we have that? There you go, sorry. I'm sorry, Dr. Nicholas Meachis. That's my bad.
Morning, everybody. Happy early Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I just saw my mom just walk by. If you didn't remember tomorrow's Mother's Day, you're welcome. So, I'm a neuro-oncologist, so I specialize in the treatment of brain tumors at the Glasser Brain Tumor Center, and I know that there's been a lot of movement of neuro-oncologists lately, so if you're looking for a neuro-oncologist, please see our booth over there. I'm happy to treat you. Happy to meet you guys. As neuro-oncologists, we try to learn everything that we possibly can about brain tumors, right? All the new treatments, all the ways to help with all the symptoms that people might be experiencing. But there's one thing I think that we really have a hard time fully understanding, and that is what it feels like to be on the other side of the room. Because we've never had to experience being told you have a brain tumor. You need chemo, you need radiation, you need surgery. But I understand that that can really feel very isolating. And sometimes it feels like you're the only person out there that's going through what you're going through as a patient with a brain tumor. But I haven't ignored the caregivers too, because sometimes it feels like you guys, family, friends, spouses, children, parents, also feel that way. Like, is there anybody else going through what I'm going through right now? And that's why I love these kind of walks, these kind of runs, these kind of meetings. Because look around. We're not doing this alone, right? Everybody here is going through what we're going through in this fight against brain tumors. And I see my daughter Quinn over there. She's not even 2. She's in a pink jacket. I want her generation to grow up where we're not even talking about brain tumors anymore, because we figured it out. And you can't get to point B without starting at point A, just like this run. And so, I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy to see everybody out there. And we'll see you at the finish line.
Thank you, Dr. Meachis. Of course, the Brain Tumor Center of Atlantic Health System has clinics in Summit, Morristown, and Pompton Plains. Dr. Meachis, thank you very much for your kind words. And of course, we would like to also thank our kind and our in-kind donors for their support. We have many of them. Please do not be afraid to applaud them. Bimbo Bakeries, thank you to them. I'm sure they're delicious. I can't wait to visit them. Thank you also to Booskaroo. Thank you to Cutler Produce. Thank you to Faces of Fun Events. Thank you to Mike Kuzin and Motion City Media. Thank you to the caffeinated Starbucks that we all needed on this wonderful morning. Thank you to Victor Spada. Thank you to the Home Depot and Sean Tobin, as well as Vintage Nouveau and Walmart. We would also like to take a moment to thank the photographers from Motion City Media right here in Asbury Park for not only donating their time, but as well as their services. They'll be capturing photos of the morning, all morning long, and we'll be sharing the event with you on social media. Thank you again to Motion City Media. Of course, as you take your own photos this morning, be sure to tag the National Brain Tumor Society, as well as use the hashtags, hashtag NBTSConnect and hashtag New Jersey BT Walk Race. And now I want to introduce you to the National Brain Tumor Society staff partner, Renee Bersani. Yeah.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming out this morning. And thank you to our entire brain tumor community for coming out. It's great to meet so many of you this morning. I finally got to meet so many of you that I've been talking to on the phone and emailing with. So it's been a pleasure meeting everybody. Before we start our walk, we want to recognize some people that will have come up to the stage. But first, we want to thank you for your support. Today we come together to inspire hope, take action, and unite to cure brain tumors. In a couple minutes, we're going to invite our survivors to make their way towards the stage. So in a couple minutes, we'll have you come forward, and after we do some of our awards, we're going to do a survivor photo. So we want everybody in front of the stage, all of our survivors, please. Right now, I want to introduce you to this year's survivor speaker who's going to share her story with us, Emma Gilardi. Yeah! Emma!
Good morning, everyone. I can't begin to put into words how honored I am to be speaking here this morning to all of you. The National Brain Tumor Society is held close to my heart for many reasons, especially the NBTS event here in Asbury. I've been connected to this specific event since its conception back in May 2016, which just so happens to be the same month and year that I was diagnosed with my brain tumor. At the time of my diagnosis, brain tumors were nothing more to me than a way to kill off a character in a television show. But in reality, about 1 million Americans are living with a primary brain tumor, and an estimated 94,390 people will receive a primary brain tumor diagnosis just this year. I was diagnosed with a malignant meningioma at 19 years old, which made me a pediatric case. Less than 3% of meningioma cases are malignant, and an even smaller percentage occurs in pediatric cases. I hit the lottery and got both. It was truly the perfect storm with an unknown cause. So there I was, 19 years old, part of such a small percentage of pediatric brain tumor cases with an unknown cause, and I didn't even know it. Well, the participants of the first NBTS Asbury Walk were preparing for their first ever event. I was in an ignorant state of bliss, not knowing what was about to hit me. On May 19, 2016, just a few weeks before my first college graduation, I woke up in the early hours of the morning to one of my typical electrifying anxiety attacks. You see, I was labeled as a typical emotional teenage girl, with divorced parents by all of my doctors up until this point. Even though I would have these fits of electrifying pain dozen times of the day, I was brushed off as an anxious little girl, but May 19th was different. May 19th was worse. I soon lost control of my right arm and leg and collapsed on the floor of my living room in front of my dad, having a grand mal seizure. I was taken on my first ever ambulance ride, to my first ever CAT scan, and waited what seemed like hours as I continued to seize. A doctor finally came up to me and said, "You have a brain tumor, and I can't help you." He walked away as quickly as he told me the news, just like he would have told me the weather. I had to listen to my father sob into his girlfriend's shoulder as the doctor left me seizing on a table, waiting for what I thought was to be my impending death. Now, I'd only heard my father cry twice in his life. The first was when his mother died, and the second was when his father died. I was sure that this third cry would be for my death. When I was finally transferred into a different hospital, a plan was made for surgery, which was to be a week later. A week filled with enough drugs to hopefully control the uncontrollable seizures, but life had other plans for me. And an angel called Dr. Tiagi swooped in to bring me into surgery not much later. I asked a singular question before she wheeled me into surgery. Will I still be me? My angel looked at me and said, "You will always be you. I promise." And then my dad looked over to me with a tear in his eye. "You'll always be my peanut, no matter what happens." And just like that, I climbed onto a cold operating table, stared at a white ceiling, and I fell asleep. She worked her magic for hours and hours to remove the 4x4 meningioma inside my brain, and while she worked, I slept. And while I slept, my family paced and cried and worried, but I woke up with a crooked smile, squinted eyes, and an enthusiastic yet kind of crooked thumbs up. I was trademarked as Dr. Tiagi's medical anomaly. The girl with a malignant brain tumor that wasn't cancer, the girl who was having seizures for the past 3 years but no one even knew, the girl with a malignant meningioma brain tumor meant for women over 60 but she's only 19. The girl with a brain tumor and seizures they just can't seem to find the cause of. Every day doctors and medical students would march in and out of my room to study me, the anomaly, the girl who made it to the other side. It was a wild time in our life, to say the least. We thought our journey was over, but that summer was spent in and out of the hospital. First, it was an infection, so I had to have a piece of my skull removed. My father learned how to give me IV treatments through a PICC line and dress my wounds as I stayed inside, scared of the gaping hole inside of my skull. Then I had a prosthetic skull placed in, but this caused my head to swell up like a balloon. I had to wrap my head every night in an attempt to keep the fluid where it should be, but honestly, that was my favorite Father's Day I've ever had. Lastly, I had radiation therapy. A crown was drilled into my head to keep me from moving, and they zapped almost everything else away. It was truly an endless summer. But at least I can say part of my head is made of plastic, and I think that's pretty cool, right? Without that summer, I wouldn't have learned about Asbury and the National Brain Tumor Society. In 2017, my family walked in our first ever event down here, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel so alone. We met families who knew how we felt, but more importantly, we met other survivors. People who could understand me, the anomaly. With every event I participated in every state, in every city, I met more people like me. The only problem with events like this is you don't always get to see those people again. Some years I meet someone and have an amazing time, but the next year I'm holding a white flower, reciting a poem while I hear their name be called out. My close friend from college reached out to me as she hid her diagnosis to ask for advice because she told me she admired my strength, but I hardly knew what to say because, to be honest, I don't really understand why I'm still here. I shouldn't have made it. I just kind of did. And when my coworker Annie was diagnosed with a glioblastoma, she reached out to me. You're miraculous. You're a warrior. Do you know that? She said. But she's miraculous. She's a warrior. Annie is a woman with a family, a partner, and kids with a glioblastoma, and she called me her angel. She didn't know how I did it, how I stayed positive, but I didn't do anything in this brain tumor journey, or at least it doesn't feel like it. She is a mom, a partner, a sister, a best friend. She did the fighting. I just survived. My doctors call me an anomaly. They have no idea what is wrong with me or how to fix me. All I do know is right now, I'm okay. I've wondered for years why I get to be here and why other people I love don't. Right now, I think I'm here to talk to all of you. I'm here to remind you that the work we put in here right in Asbury Park needs to continue. It needs to continue so no more doctors come up to bedsides to give that awful piece of news that makes our fathers cry. It needs to continue so that we can have the funding and treatments for those who are stuck in hospitals. It needs to continue so that next year we don't have to pick up another white flower in memory of a new dear friend. We need to continue because not everybody is an anomaly. Not every story ends like mine, with an able-bodied person who can walk up those stairs and stand on this stage and speak to you on a beautiful morning in May. Thank you.
No doubt a powerful and touching story. Coming together for such an inspirational day would not really be possible here without the determination and energy of everyone here. Thank you all for being here as participants, as visitors, as volunteers. Thank you all for being here. We have an amazing number of teams here today coming together to find better treatments for a cure for brain tumors. If you're celebrating or remembering a loved one, your community is here, and we're united together to make a difference. And we're doing our part by raising money, funding research, and helping patients. Your voice and all of our voices make a difference. Join a community of advocates across the U.S. and influence public policies that affect brain tumor patients, survivors, and their families now and in the future. In order to do that, text the words brain tumor to 52886. And now I'm going to have Renee come back up and help present some awards.
Before we announce our grand total raised today, I want to recognize some people in some of our teams. So for our first award, I would like to invite the Courtney family to the stage, and they're going to help us present an award. So the Courtney family is joining me, and we're going to present the Kent Courtney Team Spirit Award. The Team Spirit Award is an award that we give to a team that shows team spirit. They fundraise with enthusiasm and, of course, show their team spirit throughout. This year's award recipient is a new team that I think they surprised themselves with all the support that they received. Their team captain was very competitive, and on Facebook, she was challenging some other people in a fun, friendly competition, and remained one of our top fundraising individuals each week. So we would like to present the 2023 Ken Courtney Team Spirit Award to Team No Gremlin and their team captain, Jamie Weber.
I was trying to see what I mean. I was trying to get some money going. Kudos.
Thank you, Lauren Ken. All right, so who's ready to hear our top 3 fundraising teams? So we want to thank our incredible teams for all of your fundraising efforts. So our number 3 top fundraising team is Team Rifle. Our number 2 top fundraising team, Team Gray. And our number 1 top fundraising team, Andrew's Hulkamaniacs. Okay, good, they can hear me in the back. Congratulations. We're gonna keep your awards up here, and you can grab them when you come back from the walk. Also, if you see participants walking around with their blue backpacks, they are participants that fundraised over $250 or more before today. So it's a cool incentive that they earned. So if you see them, congratulate them walking around. But your fundraising doesn't have to end today. We will continue collecting online donations for up to 30 days after the event, and you can earn some cool incentive prizes that you'll see right on our website. So at this time, I'm going to ask the survivors to start coming forward so we can do our survivor photo in front of the stage.
Come on.
And as you guys are making your way up here, I am going to announce our fundraising totals for the event. So I know, it's so exciting. Are excited to announce that we've had over 83 teams, over 1,300 participants are here with us, and you all have raised over $205,000. Yeah! And the donations are still coming in, so way to go, that's incredible. So please share your photos throughout the morning on social media. Keep those donations coming. All right, I'm going to do another call for survivors to come up. We'll give it another minute. Yeah, so Jen's going to direct that. And before we do our photo, I'm going to ask if we can Closer, closer.